Hello, my name's Alan Gordon and welcome to another video. Hey, I want to talk to you really quickly about a sales technique. It's really a communication technique. It's called the pattern interrupt. And here's a scenario, okay? My wife and I are sitting down at a restaurant. We're looking forward to enjoying our meal and we're talking about our day. And, you know, my wife and I were probably talking about our kids and what they're up to. Then the waitress comes over and takes our drink order and asks us if we want any appetizers. After the waitress leaves, I look back at my wife and say, what were we talking about? Well, of course, she doesn't remember either, so we start the conversation from a new point. We were thinking and talking about something, then the waitress interrupted our train of thought. That is what's called a pattern interrupt. Hypnotists and magicians use this technique to distract you from what you were thinking about, and then they draw your attention to something new, something that they want you to think about. You can use this technique when your customer is not being talkative, or he's not being cooperative, or the conversation for whatever reason is tracking in a negative direction. The conversation's not going the way you want it to go. Well, on the phone, creating a pattern interrupt is really easy. Here's how you do it. You're talking on the phone and you say, oh, wow, hey, I hear my name being paged. Can you hold on for 1 second? Thanks. Or, oh, Mr. Customer, my wife is trying to reach me on my cell. Can you just hold for 1 second? I'm going to tell her I'm going to call her right back. Thanks. Or, oh, Mr. Customer, someone just walked up to my desk. Can you hold for 1 second and I'll be right back with you. Thanks very much. Now, after a few seconds, you get back on the phone, and because of the concept of the pattern interrupt, you can start a brand new conversation about anything. You're free to completely change the topic of the call, and most importantly, and the reason I say this is a great technique, is it changes the chemistry completely. You get back on the phone and say, hey, did you see the end of that Cowboys game last night? Can you believe that call? That was crazy. Or, hey, you know, I never did ask you, what does your company do? Tell me more about what you guys do. Or, hey, I forgot what we were talking about, but you were saying something about a problem that you were having. Or, hey, Mr. Customer, I never did ask you, did Bob leave the company or did he just take another position within the company? Or, totally different topic. Hey, I just read an article about the government is issuing this new regulation. Is that going to impact your company? The really cool thing about pattern interrupts is you can come back and you really can talk about anything. You can ask a relationship question, a needs development question, you can tell a joke, you can say anything you want. You can get back on track but in a more positive way. Anything you say to start fresh and create a positive tone in the conversation. When you're in person, it's a little bit more difficult to use the pattern interrupt. So, I mean, I'm sure you've all said, you know, I'm going into this meeting, I want you to call me in 5 minutes, and then you go, oh yeah, I got to take this call. That's a pattern interrupt, but that's kind of a planned pattern. When the conversation's not going the way you want it, when you're in person, you may need to ask for some water, ask to use the restroom, or receive an imaginary text or a phone call, which is very serious and will require just a second of my time. Hey, Mr. Customer, I'm sorry, what were we talking about? Hey, how about them Broncos? Great game last night, huh? Well, that's it. It's kind of a fun thing to do. It's really fun when you're in a sales room and people hear me using a pattern interrupt, or other people have picked it up from me. I love when other people use it because I know they're thinking about it. That's it. BigBookOfSales.com. Get the book. It's yours free. I've got this and thousands of other ideas that you can use immediately. Very specific examples, as you can see. Again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's it for now. Work really hard at your profession. I love being a salesman. I want you to love it too. Work really hard and enjoy every minute that you're selling. Thanks.